There are two different ways to look at the future challenges in financial regulation. The first opinion is to say that the challenges remain the same. We need a banking system that is safe and sound. We need a financial industry that has the legal framework to be a solid partner of the real economy, and we need regulation that doesn't hinder growth and jobs in Europe. And we need investment. The second opinion is to say that the future challenges are vastly different from the ones in the past. Regulators and legislators did a tremendous number of reforms in the last years. We regulated, supervised, and governed the financial sector in a better way than before the crisis. European policymakers have put forward more than 40 legislative and non-legislative measures and many technical implementing measures to build new rules for the global financial system. And we react to the crisis. After the crisis, it was easier to find the right majority in the Council and in the Parliament to do that, what we had to do after the implementation of the euro as our common currency. Somebody said it is 10 years late or 20 years late, but now we have had the chance and have the chance to do it and to develop the monetary union to a real economic and social union. We have to bring the instruments to stabilize our common currency also on the community low level. That's a long work and it's not so easy as it is necessary. We have a banking union with the necessary firewalls. We have a single rule book for all banks in Europe for the first time in history. Major proposals on banking structural reform and the financial transaction tax are being debated. And yet, there is so much we have to do. Mr. Draghi's statement that there needs to be tighter regulation for the shadow banks is met by EBA's work on developing guidelines on exposure limits for this sector. A lot of the level 1 regulations and directives have to be further detailed by implementing measures before they become fully effective. Furthermore, there is the Basel Committee's work on several banking areas. The revisions to the standardized approach for credit risk, a fundamental review of the trading book, the proposed introduction of a new capital floor, and a review of the proposed calibration of the leverage ratio. Right now, there is a clear need for carrying out a process of systematic, quantitative and qualitative assessments of the financial framework that we have established in the past. With this data, we will know which regulation is proportionate to its costs and impacts. For the future, I believe that it is crucial that we adopt consistent legislation to the one we've already established. Simplicity, comparability, and risk sensitivity are key for the future steps. And I think we have also evaluated the regulation we did in the past. And not only on European level, we have to do it on national, regional, and European level. Sometimes the contradiction or the additionality of the different regulations and taxes and others are our problem, not the new regulation on the European level. Ladies and gentlemen, the Capital Markets Union is met with high expectations, and we have to make sure beforehand not only how to establish a true single market for capital, but also how it can work with the legislative reforms we have been implementing. The Capital Market Union, I think very important is the definition what we are meaning when we are speaking about the Capital Market Union. The Capital Market Union must give us the possibility to finance our real economy and to invest in growth and employment on a broader way as we can do in the moment. Besides the work on yesterday's proposals, the core point in all of this is to establish a capital market that can help, I mentioned it, financing the real economy, in particular small and medium-sized enterprises, and to encourage new entrepreneurship and new investments. I hope we can finalize the debate in the European Parliament in the second session of October of the so-called EFSI, the European Strategic Investment Fund. The legislative work is done, but the personnel issues and the personnel decisions are open, and I encourage all people who are involved in this decision to do it very quickly. We have to start and not to discuss. I think every decisions and every parameters for the decisions are on the table. Therefore, the challenge right now is to take stock of what has been done to address the reason of the financial crisis and what further work needs to be done to strengthen the financial system and establish a well-functioning capital market. And I will say to you, thank you very much for all support in this work, for all experience you give us and all meetings we had with you, with some of you when I'm looking to the different roles. And I invite you to do the same also in the future. We need a very open, a very transparent, a very fair and efficient dialogue between all stakeholders. Then we can go forward on a very efficient and positive way. Thank you very much.